How's it going, guys? Conservative Eagle here. I'm trying to keep this brief. I was gonna wait till I did my podcast with my co-host and best friend, of course, Jaime Moreno, to talk about this, but it's been eating me all day, and I really can't wait anymore. I really can't wait. It's been eating me since I saw the interviews that Jorge Ramos did in his most recent episode of Al Punto. Now, Eddie, why are you always talking about Jorge Ramos or Conservative Eagle, however you guys want to call me? Why do you always talk about Jorge Ramos? You got to understand that in the Latino community, there's two main sources. Because unfortunately, the majority of the Latino community speaks Spanish. So where do we get our news? How do we keep informed? The majority of the time, your two sources in the Latino community are going to be Univision and Telemundo. I'm going to repeat this several times throughout many videos that I make, just so you guys understand. So, I tuned in and started watching because I was waiting for this response, and I knew it was going to be the same thing. So on CNN, MSNBC, NBC, pretty much most of the mainstream media outlets, the same narrative, and it didn't fail. He interviewed the victims, their families, survivors, and so forth. And the narrative that he was trying to push were two things. Donald Trump is racist, and it's because of Donald Trump's alleged racist rhetoric that El Paso happened. Because he pointed out to certain things in his manifesto, in the shooter's manifesto, that basically Trump has used in his speeches, or certain keywords like invasion, saying that basically a lot of the Latinos are coming in, they're taking over. I'm not going to go and read every word of the manifesto. Yes, that's in there. Yes, the word invasion is in there, and so forth. But what if I were to tell you that mainstream media has been hiding the most important part of that manifesto? Probably a thing I've still not have heard, and if it has been said, even by conservative outlets, please let me know. But as far as I know, when I have been listening to press conferences or Paso and all that, I have not heard this yet. There's a couple articles that I had tried to dissect to try to understand this guy's character, but none of them point out so far. Or if it has happened, please let me know. But so far, I have not come across one single outlet that has said what I am about to read to you. And if this doesn't prove once and for all that President Trump's alleged racism had nothing to do with this shooting, I don't know what will. So this is an excerpt from the manifesto. I am not going to read all of it. This is what I want to focus, because this is not what you're seeing in mainstream media. This is not what you're hearing on your radio shows. But let's just get into this. Quote, "My ideology has not changed for several years. My opinions on automation, immigration, and the rest predate President Trump and his campaign for president. I put this here because some people will blame the president or certain presidential candidates for the attack. This is not the case. I know the media. I will probably be called a white supremacist anyway and blame Trump's rhetoric. The media is infamous for fake news. Their reaction to this attack will likely just confirm that. Many people think that the fight for America is already lost. They couldn't be more wrong. This is just the beginning of the fight for America in Europe. I am honored to head the fight to reclaim my country from destruction." End of quote. What more evidence do you want? What more evidence do you want? Those are the words of the shooter. Now, credit to media, there has been articles where they have pointed out that he hates both Democrats and Republicans. And they blame us, well, they blame conservatives and liberals for the incorporation of corporations into politics, lobbying, and so forth. He blames all that. He blames the loss of jobs to automation. He blames the influx of Latinos and democratic policies that are being offered by the 2020 candidates, that could overtake majority influence in certain elections, in presidential elections. He blames all of that, and credit to news outlets, it's there. But my point was this: if this truly was about can you now say that really President Trump influenced this guy when he just told you that this predated his election? This predated 2016. In that other video, what did I say? That race relations were better under George W. Bush than they were under Barack Obama. This dude was, what, 21 years old? So for 16 of those years, I'm talking 2000 to 2016, and let's just take away maybe 5 or 6 of those years, who do you think was president at that time? Ask yourselves that. For him to create such in his brain, come up with such a manifesto, who was president during the years when he maybe had some intellectual understanding, if you want to call it that? I'll give you a hint, it wasn't George W. Bush. Race relations were worse under Obama than they were under Bush. And this guy just told you, to all my Latinos who blame President Trump, he just told you that those thoughts that he had in his head predated President Trump. And with that said, I'm Conservative Eagle. Have a good one. Please leave your comments below, your thoughts. I want to hear it. And always remember, go beyond what they tell you on the television. Take time to research, get the sources straight from the source. Because like I said, I just proved to you that this guy was not influenced by President Donald J. Trump.